time for part 2 of the whole what were your earliest, or what was your earliest memory of the paranormal. So going off of the first part, my favorite thing that happened was when I think I was already going to middle school, if I'm not mistaken. So in the same school, same vibe. When it's closed down, like after school hours and stuff, they would sometimes often leave the gate open. And as kids around the neighborhood, we would either sneak in if it was open, or just kind of like push at the door, and the gate, what's it called, the chain wasn't so super tight, so you could actually squeeze through the fence. I know, don't do that, don't condone these actions, but that's what we did as kids. So to the locals who know about Roberts Elementary and the layout and stuff, know what I'm talking about. Like the gate that was usually open or just gave way was the one you could see off the side of the road, and the one for the playground area. So that's why we would sneak in. We would use it to play. We didn't have a play set or anything like that. And I remember we were excited, but my cousin and my sister already know how I am, and they were like looking at me like, please don't say anything. And I was like, it is weird, like, I'm sorry, it's a weird vibe. And the way it's set up is like the playground is off on one side, blacktops on the other, and then off around the blacktops is like a awkward area. Like, if you know the layout, you know what I'm talking about. But also, to help with the story, I'm going to put a visual. So back to the story, we were playing basketball on the blacktop, and I just kept having that tugging feeling of like something's over there in the corner and it's watching us, and I just couldn't shake it off. And that's how my spidey senses work, where I like feel the vibe and try to get a good handle on the situation, who it is, male or female, what their intentions are, good or bad. And then excuse me, sorry, sometimes like I'm able to pick up on the message, or again what the situation is about. And it's in an area, as far as like the corner, it's not blocked off, like you can see through the chain link fence. So like it was like as if she was behind the fence and watching us from there, but I can tell when they're moving, and so I could feel her like moving around the corner-ish, kind of like if she wanted to come back on the blacktop with us, but for the most part she stayed there. I think it was a she, if I remember correctly, the feeling that I had, because it was, again, it was very, very young, very innocent feeling. And you know how as kids, like, boys and girls kind of sound the same? That's what I heard. It was like, I thought girl, but it could also have been a little boy. But at the time when it happened, I thought it was a little girl. Obviously, being told not to start anything, they didn't mean it in a bad way, but they were just kind of like, please don't freak us out. They noticed that I wasn't playing and I wasn't all there, and that I was like tracking something. So they're like, what, you feel something? And I was like, you don't? They're like kind of, I think somebody mentioned like they kind of did feel icky. And I don't know why, but when we started talking about it, we just decided to start heading home. But again, I don't know why, instead of going out the way we came in, we did do like a little perimeter check. I don't know if it was because of me, like we went, or I like gravitated and they followed, because I was the oldest. And so at this point I had already told them the rundown, what I was feeling and stuff. I think they had asked specifics. And when we're walking, again, refer to the diagram, and if you know, you know how creepy the feeling is. So we're going around off to the side of the blacktop towards like where the dungeon is, and then around the corner to where that open space is in between the classroom hallways. And I shit you not, that's where like she was looking at us, or he was looking at us from like the gate area by the corner. And as soon as I was telling my cousin, as like it's a kid and stuff, and I think he was like, he said something along the lines, and it was like a comedic performance, because the moment he's like, I better not hear it, it called his name. It called his freaking name. It was so cool. Well, for me, it was so cool. It was loud and clear to the point where it kind of like echoed, and the echo reverberated on the walls of the little like nature pathway thing. And so we started booking it. We all did the little like giddy girly scream, all three of us, and then we ran out the door, out the gate and everything, all the way home. And it was funny because when it happened, they kind of were like, damn it, like we told you. It was so fun. It was like the best thing. We were scared a little bit, like a teeny tiny bit, the whole fact that there was like a voice and no person at the end of it. Nobody was there. It was right in front of us. It's so weird, and it's so hard to explain if you haven't ever experienced it before, but it was freaking cool. And that's what happened. Yeah, I do feel like now looking back at it, it probably was the little boy that passed away there, but I'm not sure. That's the only confirmed to that death that I know of. And it was kind of bittersweet, like right now thinking back on it, like, oh, what if that really was him? But it was crazy to see, well, to experience as a kid, and to look back as an adult, and to have the confirmation from other people, like the 3 people I told you about that had their own experiences at the same place, at the same school. And again, we're all from different generations, so paranormal's real. It's part of my life, and it's here to stay. So I hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to hear your all's.